All right, I'm back. It's me, the original caricature. I got the blowout fully blown out. I wanted to get a haircut, but I guess I was being lazy. I was doing other things, but we come back to you for another edition. I got to get my professionalism on. Jokingly, bam, bam. Now we look. My main affiliate, just cut out on us. It doesn't really surprise me because it doesn't. You can hear the dumb stuff in other posts and not from me, and I'm not trying to pick up the dumb stuff. But when you see when I'm doing things, if you're really paying attention, you can hear the dumb stuff going on. So it's good to have that documented dumb stuff. We're back. I joke a lot, so I was joking about my professionalism. Like, it's my podcast, and this is preliminary content. Like, I don't have an editor. Like I said, me and the cat, that's the feline. We're in disputes, contract disputes. I'm not liking her diva behavior. Which brings me to the subject that we're going to be talking about in today's The Bare Facts podcast. It's been inconsistent. I'm sorry, people, my 11-man audience. I know you're on the edge of your seats waiting. But at the same time, like I said, me and the cat are having contract disputes, and the diva behavior brings me to the subject of counterculture. Like, I've been hearing it a lot over the last year. I heard it. I've heard different people explain it. It's a new thing in culture. And so I was like, earlier today, I was like, all right, I'm hearing it. I don't even know what I was watching earlier today, but it came up again. And like I said, I've heard people explain it. But I wanted to know, because I like to learn. I wanted to know the exact definition of what the counterculture was. So when I researched it, it's basically oppression. It's basically oppression. And since I playfully voice how I feel like being blacklisted and oppressed over these years. But I was listening to Jay-Z, I don't remember, and Kanye, I don't remember, was Ham or Otis. Otis, build your fences. You build your fences. We build the tunnels. Can't you see we getting money up under you? But anyway, like for years, like a lot of people might be laughing right now as I go through the stop and go. A lot of people might be looking at me like I got a lot during the stop and go. And even before maintaining my life, I joked about the 4 floors of luxury. I joked about different things because I know what I go through, and it's basically blacklisting. And with that blacklist effect, I've been able to maintain my life, live my life, and do what I'm doing. And when I bring that up and then talk about counterculture, like I said, it's oppression. It's trying to stifle somebody's voice. Even in my groups, I tell my group, I don't want to stifle somebody's voice. And sometimes you gotta enforce boundaries. I can't have one person talk for 3 hours in a group. I can't have one person talk through entire group unless it's we breaking down in the smaller groups and doing the activity, and that one person is talking while the rest, everybody doing the activity, and then you get to voice whatever when it's time to do that. But other than that, I don't want to stifle anybody's voice. You've often heard me say, this is a democracy, not a dictatorship. And when an artist sign on, I respect your voice. I respect your opinion, even if we agree to disagree, even if there's a disagreement in opinion. It's I've always been that way. I've always tried to take time to understand other people's opinion. Now, if I disrespect you, that means you disrespected me. Like, and that's why in any dispute, like, if it gets to that point, if it gets to a disrespectful point, that means to me, no holds barred. And once it goes to that point, it's like, don't ask me to apologize. Don't ask me to do nothing because you initiated that disrespect. And even though I don't care either way, I don't care how you feel. I don't care if you're hurt. Because, like, it's funny, like, in the situation I'm in, like I said, I know the situation. A lot of people that get involved, like, I often joke about that to myself, like, people that get involved in the situation I'm in next Tuesday swear that they all star veterans, and then they end up, like, yeah, I mean, red shirting for 13 years. They end up getting a career end career ending injury in a rookie season. Now I'm joking. This is the game that I'm in that I don't never wanted to play, but I'm not as stupid as they gas you up to think. So it's like when you come in thinking you got all pieces of the puzzle and you don't know the uncontrolled variable for nothing, you just know what they gassed you up to know, and you get backlash from how you approach me, I'm never going to feel bad. Like, I joke, and that's a joke because, like I always say, I love the assholes I work with, and that's a joke too. Like, I love my job, I love the community, I love being social. But like I just said, like, for me, I'm never going to feel some type of way for anybody that if you come at my neck, I'm going to take your head off because you came at my neck. And like I said, I'm the type of person that, like, you can say whatever to me, and it's usually not a judge. It's never a judgment. Like, I might ask questions for better understanding of your point of view, but it's never a judgment because I could care less. Like, if you my I have empathy for my clients. That's a part of the job. I have empathy for my clients, and in a lot of cases, I've been through similar circumstances. Even that's what I'm saying. When certain people view my where I am in life, I'll say it like that, where I am in life, but it's like I've ran the gambit. Like, I've been through the gaslight, which is supposed to make you believe your psyche is shattered. So whether I have a mental health issue or I don't, I've been through that. I've survived that. So that's the mental health. Like, I used to use substances. So, like, even though I never got deep into substances and, like, yeah, I mean, and I don't want to make, because that's textbook. Like, some people will separate, like alcoholics will separate themselves from drug users. But like, I've been through the gaslight. So it's not like I'm denouncing certain things. It's, I have to put certain disclaimers out there or they will be manipulated, twisted, taken completely out of context. And now you're upset. You're coming at me. And if I come back at you, I don't want to hear you acting like a victim because I say it all the time. I'll never disrespect you if you ain't disrespect me. Like, I'm way so far away from that type of mindset. Like, I talk about the Corona state of mind and Corona commercial state of mind because every commercial, even in the winter, they got some type of beach theme. Even when they got the light decorated palm trees, they still it's a beach commercial. And for me, like, in my head, happy Pharrell's "Happy Don't Play" all day, but like, at this point of life, like, and like I've spoke on that before, how people will be like, I can't picture you living that past life, that familiar story. And like, it's like I'm saying, in certain instances in my past, I would feel disrespected because it's like you're saying it in a connotation where it's like you sweet, you not the culture, you this, and that. And that I got a t-shirt design. I'm a successful black man, not no house, but it's a t-shirt design, but still, I guess you could say it's a play on words. But like I'm saying, like, I'll never disrespect you unless you disrespect me. And a lot of times I might even let the disrespect go. And like I'm saying, you might think like, oh, I'm getting over on them. he's stupid, he's this, he's that, he's soft. It's like, no, you're not worth it. And like I'm saying, in certain connotations, it's like I wouldn't have disrespected you, but you're disrespecting me, and I don't even look at you how you coming across, and I don't want to go there. So it's like I said, no, Pharrell's happy you not playing in my head all day, but it might as well because that's what mindset state I'm in today. That hasn't always been my mindset, like my mindset, my mind state. Like in the past, my mind state, like you go through Tupac from his first album to Machiavelli, that would have like, and I'm not saying thug. I know he yelled thug and thug life and stuff like that, but if you really listen to his music, that never stopped fighting, that you like in psychology and specific CBT, they talk about core beliefs, unloved, unlovable, unloved, beliefs of unloved, beliefs of uh I know I'm stuck on this unloved, uh unlovable. I don't know if that's the same thing, but because to me it's like unloved means you don't feel like you're loved. Unlovable, like I don't know. When I first said it was something, but the unlovable, you're not capable of being loved. No, you don't think anybody can love you enough, or you're not worthy of their love or whatever. There's hopeless, like some people might see that as depression, and in many cases it is. But like I'm saying, when it comes to psychology and in the DSM-5, it's like depression can manifest in different ways, and to like it says that like I know people aren't familiar with that. They're familiar with sadness, low energy, like yeah, I mean, just whatever. But like there's also that I would say urban depression where it's more because aggression is a part of the depression, irritability is a part of depression, whether you say aggression or irritability. And like I know there are people that'll get upset and gaslight what I just said, like, oh, you live across the street from the hood, don't tell it. But no, like it's written, evidence based. And as somebody who comes from that mind state, I'll say like that, I might not come from your block, but somebody who comes from that mind state, it's like, no, I didn't feel depressed. I joke about my angry teenager years and like it was like I didn't listen to Tupac because he fueled my rages. I listened to Tupac because it was relatable. And like I said to myself earlier last night, like I think some of the reasons that some of the music therapy exercises that I did over the years were effective because like it's a group. So it's not just one person, it's usually not three people. Usually it's a good amount of group people. And it's not just me because people seem to think like I just get lost in music. No, like these people scream out music they relate to. And more often than not, the whole group is nodding their heads, mouthing the words with their eyes closed, eyes open, like mean mugging, whatever, like, yeah, I mean, tearing up, whatever. It's because these are the familiar stories. These are what people go through. Like, whether the rapper is living it or not, I don't know. Whether everybody has dealt with everything, I don't know. But in the familiar story, you might not have been through it, but you know your cousin, your best friend, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your aunt, whatever, you know what it is. And like I said, this is a blue collar city. So when I look at it like that, it's a constant fighting, scrapping. Like I don't want to say crabs in a barrel mentality. It's just a never say quit, never give up, fight for everything you want type of city. And I know everybody don't get that because some people find escapes in other ways. But when I say that, it's like, yeah, I mean, I've witnessed them people conquer life after dealing with whatever was they were trying to escape. You get what I'm saying? And like I'm saying, not to make it about my clients or groups or whatever, it's like, yeah, I mean, it's leading to something. But what I'm saying is like, whether you on a street corner, that's how I feel. Like whether you on a street corner trying to grind it out, whether you selling turtles trying to grind it out, whether you trying to save selling lightsaber trying to grind it out, or you got two kids and you a nurse or a home health aide and you grinding it out, trying to make ends meet or making ends meet, riding in a nice car, like yeah, I mean, good with your money. Like it's still like a certain mentality about urban settings. And it's, I know, like, I mean, like I've had that conversation about like, other, I don't want to say so-called, but other urban settings that I would think is looked at more aggressive than Philadelphia, because it's talked about, I think, more than Philadelphia on a statewide level, like Chicago and New York and LA. But I've met people from those areas and be like, no, Philly a rough place. And I'm not going to dwell on that because I've already talked about that. But my whole thing is, like I said, like with that mindset of just the weight of the world on your shoulders, or that we were talking about CBT and that hopelessness that, yeah, I mean, they say anger turned inwards is our what they say, I forget, uh sadness, anger, whatever, it turned inward is like ends up in anger. So I'm guessing sadness turned inward uh manifests into anger and rage. And like, when you go through those things, like I'm not saying I've grew up in the projects, I'm not saying I grew up in the worst hood in the world. I know what I went through. So, like I said, like when I meet people and you have certain connotations, like I can't believe you ever went through that, and it's not a compliment, like because I've had those experiences on both sides of that, the compliment connotation too. Like, yeah, I mean, I've had people say like, "Wow, you've came a long way. Like, I'm glad to see you out here doing what you're doing and trying to keep doing what you're doing." And when I say I've been on both sides of it, I've said that before. Like I've been face to face with looking myself in the mirror. Like I've said that before 100 times, and I don't want to make it about that. Like at different times, it's like I felt like an island to myself. But then I started meeting these people, and it's like they're not my homies or nothing. But still, we had conversations. I'm like, damn, like you went through a lot. Like I had to catch myself saying that. Like I can't believe you went through that, because like we from the same familiar story, but I might not be, like I said, your aunt, uncle, sister, brother. I might not have went through certain aspects of it, but it's not uncommon to me. It's something I might have witnessed but never had happen to me. And it's not like, yeah, I mean, and I'll never look down on people either still in those familiar stories or whatever. Like, it's not in me to look down on people. I just don't care enough. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry if you feel offended by the way I said that, but like, and that's what brought me to my clients, because like I have empathy for my clients because I'm familiar with what they go through. I said the mental health, I said the substance abuse, criminality, whatever. I have experienced it in my quest for stability and my quest for curbed middle class. Like, I had probably the same aspirations as a million people to be rich and all that. But like, yeah, I mean, I've accomplished a lot in my life just working that I thought I would never do without crime. And I said that before. So like I said, I'm not going to dwell on that. But like I'm saying, like with the CBT, it's like, all right, you got the feelings of never good enough to be loved. You got the hopelessness, and you got the unworthy feelings of unworthiness. Uh, I think there's one more. I can never remember all four of the core beliefs. I think there's 1,000, but those are the four that most automatic thoughts and thought distortions stem from. So, like in therapy, you're supposed to CBT. You're supposed to first identify the automatic thoughts, like the thoughts that like somebody says something to me and you're like, oh, I wonder why they said that. They probably think my breath stinks, and they didn't say nothing like that. Or why did they say that? They probably think, oh, I need to lose weight, and it's like they might have said, or somebody says to you, oh, you look good today. you lost some weight, and internally you're thinking like, is this person really, is that a backhanded compliment? Are they saying I was too fat before, or are they saying like, yeah, I mean, like, is it a backhanded compliment? Like I said, like, are they being sarcastic? Are they being smart? Or is this person at face value? Now, thoughts like that are thought distortions, but like, and it's like a million of them, and they all lead back to usually those four core beliefs. The automatic thoughts lead back to the core beliefs, and the core beliefs are usually rooted from beliefs that are learned at a young age. So, like, even like I've used that as a example, and I know this is a common thing. I know different things are common things. So, like I said, don't let gaslighters fit shoes because I'm not talking about you. But I've used it where it's like, somebody playfully grabbing your fat as grabbing your stomach fat or your love handles or whatever. And this doesn't always happen because like certain things happen to me, certain things happen to other people. And like, like the book say more resilient, but like, I don't want to go there. It's just like, but these things even playfully might develop, I don't want to say a hang up, but they might damage the self-esteem. They might raise insecurities because somebody's always, every time they see you, they Pillsbury Doughboy in you, and you start to get self-conscious and stuff like that. And that might be at age 4, it might be at age 2, it might be at age 13. But as you grow, you get self-conscious about certain things, and yeah, I mean, and it festers and manifests and turns into different things, whether it's depression over that, insecurity over that, anger over that, um, behavior like conduct disorders, anxieties, social anxieties, general anxieties. The list could go on of different types of things that different behaviors can manifest. And nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's expecting nobody to be perfect. But at the same time, when you have these things that are causing problematic behavior, or they are manifesting different things, there's treatments like CBT that can help you identify because like I've on a lot of occasions, it's like I'm sitting with somebody and I'm tuned in. I'm tuned in to what they're saying. And the funny thing is, it's like they're telling me I have road rage. I have the worst road rage. Sometimes I want to hop out and just beat somebody to death. And listening to their story unravel, and I'm tuned in and I'm listening to more and more things. And then I'll say flares. I'm not gonna say red flags. I'm gonna say flares. I start going off, and it's like bam, bam, bam. And then it's like, all right, you have road rage, but I'm hearing that you're dealing with some unresolved issues that feed your normal rage, which the thing that frustrates you the most is the traffic or whatever, or people acting stupid. So it really comes out at those points. Or like, yeah, I mean, like sometimes it's like, all right, I got the road rage, and the way I deal with it is by drinking when I get home. And then once I get drunk, me and my wife start going at it, and she don't want to be around me. She's talking about, yeah, I mean, but like I said, when the red flags start, the flares start going off, and I'm picking up on different things in the narrative, it's like, all right. So then once you bring that stuff to the forefront, and they like light bulbs go off, like, yeah, I never thought of that. Like, yeah, like there's so many times in conversations people will just like say certain things, and like I'm saying, I'm a trained therapist, so it's not like I'm just like, yeah, I mean, talking up, but like I guess that's why people suggest I become a therapist, because I had no plans on becoming a therapist, especially not no drug and alcohol counselor from my past. But at the same time, like I'm a listener, I guess. And like I said, I joke about a lot of times, like, and 30, you could have been around me 30 years and never really heard me talk. And that means the spread gossip too. Like, yeah, I mean, you probably never heard me talk. But like even if I listen in every word, even if I don't care about what's being said around me, I'm sitting there like, yeah, I mean, like I think I said that in the post the other day. Like I'd be listening to like music and stuff, and I don't really be paying attention to all songs all the time. Like if it's a artist I like, I pay attention from the rip. If it's and even sometimes like I heard that Nas EPMD joint, and I listened to Nas, and I heard the Nas and Eminem joint, and I listened to it. But like I said, though, like I liked it, but a whole bunch of people was like M straight went in, and I was like, ah, I must have missed something because like yeah, I mean, so I had to put my listening ears on. So, but that's in a I'm cleaning with music on type stuff. But like I just I'm a good listener and I pick up on different things. And like some people say my questions are annoying, but like whether I'm trying to learn and you're feeding my you're feeding my you're feeding me knowledge. So it's either that or like I'm trying there you're telling me a story and I'm trying to connect dots. Like I know I can be all over the place. And sometimes people tell stories and I'm a visual thinker, like and that's helping me more draw today, even though I never really drew nothing without reference images in the past because I never felt I could hold the image long enough. But I'm a visual thinker. So when you're telling me a story, it's playing out in my head like a movie. Like if I'm listening to a song, sometimes like it'll play out like a movie. And that's why I came up with the idea of storyboarding, because like, that's basically what it is, like the storyboarding. So sometimes I'm asking questions to fill in gaps like in that story. Like, all right, so you went from Mexico to Canada and you missed 3 years. What happened? Like, so I might like, yeah, I mean, ask questions for more clarity, which is my job as a therapist. Like our job as a therapist is to interview our clients and help empower them to come to uh, answers and solutions for themselves. We work in collaboration, and when I say that, like when I talk about the CBT, to me, like I've said over and over again, I think CBT, since it goes from automatic, first you got to identify the difference between an emotion and a thought. And like there's worksheets that'll say these are emotions, these are thoughts. And that you don't always, because like even me throughout these last years, I've tried to retrain my, not in all the cases, but in a lot of cases, I try to use less oppressive language. Like even before, like even like if I'm making a joke, I'm making a joke because like yeah, I mean a joke is a joke. Like yeah, I mean I was at the open mic night and there was like there's no hold bars. You got sensitive feelings, you got to roll. But like professionally, and then sometimes it depends. Just so I can keep that in my vernacular, my vocabulary, like I try to use less oppressive language on a regular basis. There was because like I'm saying, like, and when I'm talking about the difference between a thought and a feeling, it's like the key example for me is uh somebody told me like don't use like feeling if you're expressing a thought. Like, man, I was feeling like uh you hated me. All right, that's not a feeling, even though you say you felt like the person hated you. It's like I thought the person hated you. If you get that, like it's a subtle difference, especially in the layman's who cares universe. It's like, yeah, I mean, like, I'm not saying nobody, yeah, I mean, I'm trained, so I know these things. So it's like even when I'm writing, I might write out, I feel that Humpty Dumpty should go up the hill, and then I gotta go back and erase it and say, no, I think that Humpty Dumpty should go up the hill. So like, yeah, I mean, stuff like that. But with the oppressive language, with the CBT, like I said, it's a integrated approach, and I didn't mean to make this like a therapeutic rant. But like even in my humor now, even in my humor, like if you're a clinician, you can definitely pinpoint the few jokes or how whether it's Fat Boy Foodie home edition segments, whether it's like random Johns, even in maybe some of the Lord Forgive 'Ems, they just jokes. You can like if you got a clinician's ear, you can hear the jargon. And I know that's this. Like I know you're supposed to meet clients where they're at, which is a good thing. We can ebonic it up. But as a clinician, talking to a clinician, like, I'm not trying to really impress anybody with terminology, but we're both clinicians and you know the terminology and I know the terminology, even though I have a past, even though my first language is Ebonics. As that professional, like, like you can tell the real from the fake because like I said, I basically retain the whole catalog, not just the syllabus of knowledge, but that's what I do. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know, I'm good at retention. But like I said, when it comes to treatment, like I really approach things, and I'm not going to keep this on treatment, I'm just going over some stuff. My main approach is like a integrated trauma informed, and there's more things there's the interventions related to trauma informed approaches and trauma informed approaches. So just like there's CBT, and then there's different interventions related to CBT. You get what I'm saying? And you can use different interventions like behavioral activation as a CBT treatment. Trauma informed, because prolonged exposure therapy, that's CBT. But trauma informed is like, yeah, I mean, it's an approach. Like there's approaches, perspectives, and theories and stuff like that. But anyway, I'm not going to go too deep into this because that's not the point. But it's an integrated approach, trauma informed, CBT, strength based, person centered. And that's basically my approach. But I also know other approaches like narrative, like different family based styles and interventions related to those approaches and styles and stuff like that. But that's my main core thing, because I think in psychodynamic, because I think they all go hand in hand. To me, it's just logic. Like in a psychodynamic approach, it's like, you're exploring those past experiences. Like I'm a big self-psychology person. So you're exploring past situations, but you're also, and that to me relates to those automatic thoughts and core beliefs. And you're modeling pro-social behaviors as well as giving somebody that attachment, that secure attachment that they might not have had. They might have had an insecure attachment. They might have had a lot of people do, and that's what I'm saying. Like on some big pun, Beanie Siegel nigga shit. Sorry, that's where the resilience, I guess, takes hold, and that's where it's nigga shit. Like it's just everyday shit. Like, yeah, I mean, excuse my language, but it's nigga shit. Like big pun and Beanie said. But at the same time, on a therapeutic tip, like when you trying to, because I ain't trying to change you, just give you some game to make the transition from the streets to the corporate. It's like, even with the self-psychology and the psychodynamic and other approaches, it's like people will repeat the same patterns until they address the pattern. And it's like, you can't form relationships, healthy relationships. This is textbook. This is not just me looking down on people, but it's an understanding. You can't have those healthy relationships until these unresolved issues are resolved. You get what I'm saying? Until there's an understanding of the manifestation. Some people, like, in solution focus, it's pretty much goal oriented, future oriented. We're not paying attention to the past. But and what I subscribe to, and I'm good. Like that's why I like to learn a bunch of different approaches because whatever. Because I've had times where, like I said, I went in a situation and I was like, yeah, listen, I've been I've been sodomized, I've been punched in the mouth, and I've been ran over 3 times by a car. But I don't want to focus on that. I want to focus on getting a degree. I want to focus on flying a kite, and I want to focus on. And it's like, all right, well, there's your goals right there. Let's get to it. And like, I'm joking, but like, don't fit shoes. Um, but like, it all depends on. Like, I let the person I'm working with dictate where we going and how the approach I'm gonna use. And like I said, it's fluid. Like, yeah, I mean, but I don't want to focus on therapy or it's just, I mean, what it is. So, with all that said, this counterculture that seems to be a big topic. Like I've been watching different podcasts. I've been watching like 4 people's podcasts because I just be watching podcast. Like I'm not stealing nobody's material. Whenever, like I said, I hope that when the hard launch of the joint is popping, even if it starts out with just me still, but uh, it's a consistent weekly day on a consistent weekly basis. Like, you know what I mean? And even if none of the artists want to partake, I'm hoping that the atmosphere is to which that it's inviting. It's like that everybody, it's the place that everybody wants to be, so it won't be like a hard time trying to find co-hosts to just rip and riff. And like that's one of the reasons why I enjoy podcasts, because to me it's like a barbershop conversation. It's like, excuse me, but being on the gate or in the yard. It's like the lunchroom. It's water cooler, but I'm not beefing with those who water cooler talk, but you know, I mean, I'm not trying to exclude myself, but I usually don't be. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna leave it at that. That's kind of a joke, but don't get your feelings hurt. Wow. Don't get any feelings. I'm just saying. Like, so as it grows and we get to that hard launch, like I said, even starting out, even if it's just still me, and yeah, I'm just down the day I got the blowout blown out. But hopefully over time and as time goes on and things are in full swing, it's like whether it's me or I'm not even involved because, like, you know, at this point, I don't even know if I'll be how often I'll be on location, but that takes finding people you trust too. But like I'm saying, like when it comes to this counterculture, oppression, stifling people's voices, the blacklist, like I joke and like I'm saying, even with that, like I've watched people, but they celebrities, so it's like you were a celebrity when somebody tried to blacklist you. So what you made before you got blacklisted is what like most people will make in a lifetime. But for me, like, yeah, I mean, I was basically blacklisted basically still when I was like, yeah, I mean, doing certain things that I no longer do, no longer want to do. And if I have to, I'm gonna be very resentful for doing them. I don't want to do those things. Stop playing with me. But anyway, so like, cause some people like laugh and act like I'm the arrogant one. Like, just like you see, oh, he's always moving, he's always doing stuff. But like at this point, if it ain't a bill, I'm spending my money on, and if it ain't nourishment for the body and soul, um, is asset related. I'm building assets. Like, I barely, it's not like you want to see me go out and get like brand new TV for no reason. I got TVs. I'm not doing that. If one breaks, I'm gonna be upset. But like, yeah, I mean, I'm not just spending my money on just vacations or nothing like that. Like, and if you are, I'm not knocking you. But like, if you at this stop and go standstill, like I'm collecting, I'm still trying to collect assets in the go moments, but then it stops after I got the asset. And like I'm saying, like bills are month to month. Bills don't, and I live by myself, so it's not like bills just go away after you pay them for that month. No. Um, and my whole thing is, like I said, reminded me I got some bills I gotta pay. I got, then I got, So anyway, um, so like everything's entrepreneurial asset related. Like no, nothing's up and running. And yes, if I was working full time this whole time, it would have been full swing on a lot of different things. Because like I said, during 2020, we going in 2022, like things were steamrolling. But I was working a full time job and I had to pay the internship. But anyway, so for me to be in the position I'm in, I gotta be grateful and thankful and appreciative because it's like, yeah, I mean, like I know what I go through. What I go through is starting to balloon out of control, but at the same time, it's like I'm still here. I'm still like like I put that on my Facebook. I guess that was like I survived like what 9 guns being flashed on me throughout my life. One of those times, somebody I was cool. It got shot. It got grazed, but he still got shot. Like the person shot at the ball, and I was closer to the person doing the shooting than I was my homie that got hit. Uh, Another time, the gun was point blank at my face. Um, and in all 9 of those times that guns were flashed or pulled, only one time that somebody get a successful robbery. None of the times have I actually gotten shot or hit. Um, I have 4 knives pulled on me. Nobody got away with nothing of mine those 4 times. Like it's different things. Like I had an instance. I was with my homie, one of my old homies, and this girl kept flirting with him, and she just kept flirting with him. And another boy was with us, and he was getting steamed. He was getting mad the whole time. And he left, and he came back, and he had a revolver by his side. And I was just like, all right, this time to go, because like it wasn't on no. To me, it was just on some window. Like yeah, I mean, like I wasn't scared of nothing, but at the same time, I ain't going out. I mean, we was just like, all right, this time to go. And then another time, like it was me and 2 of my homies. Now, none of the 3 of these people remember that. Now, I might see the time with the ball and the chick, but I can't because like the whole night I was geeking at the situation. Like the ball was steaming and this chick just wouldn't get off him. But then I was with my homie, like 2 other homies from the past, and we was in Philly, and we was I guess getting off the L or the trolley. It's one of them, probably the L, and we were going to a spot where we used to twist up or whatever. And I don't know if it had no, we weren't like we were going there to twist up, but I guess we hadn't did it that much. We might have did it once or twice before that because I remember this like down the street there was like, this church, and sometimes it'd be raining and we'd be sitting there. But anyway, we were walking down towards this courtyard area. Like it was Little Rise projects. Like it was like yeah, I mean, so we walking down this like incline. I ain't even gonna call it a hill. It's a grassy incline. My hill out front is probably steeper than the hill we were walking down, but it came down to like a courtyard patio, concrete patio area with like a bench to the side, and they would have probably sat on the back of the bench, and I would have been standing there twisting up, whatever. This is 90s into 2000 anyway. So my question has always been because I seen the ball. The ball came out the darkness. He had a shotgun by his side, and I know how I was back then. I told you the Tupac shit. And like I be joking, but I'm saying like I'm the one with the longest fuse. Like besides my little homie, like I no longer like we never longer see eye to eye. Like I'm the one with the longest fuse. Like and it's not a down thing to them. It's just knowing who you are and knowing who they are. Like I'm the thinker, like, and I'm not saying they dumb. It's just like I said, I analyze different things, and some things I just don't give a fuck about. So it's like you're not even gonna get a reaction out of me, like especially right now where people trying to snitch on me that I'm trying to remove from my life. I'll put it like that. But and I'm completely legit, so it's weird to me anyway. And I ain't scared of you. You're just not gonna get what you want. I joke. I've been joking all week about like that time period in life, in some people's life, where you're in school, probably elementary school, and you get in trouble after hitting somebody that hit you or says something, and you hit them, and you like, oh well, he did this first, and you're like, well, you the one that got caught. I'm gonna avoid that. I'm trying to avoid that at all costs. It's getting more and more hard and more stressful as this money situation goes on. Not because of the money situation. It's like, you're laughing at me. You're laughing at me. Do I know you? Like I'm not the person I was, but are you trying to disrespect me? And like that goes back to the, like, you're a red shirt rookie talking down to an all pro veteran, and you think you know the game. Like, they're gassing you up to get hurt. They're using you as a sacrificial lamb. It's a good thing that sometimes I want to pop out, flip out, and let off whatever little baby says, but I gotta keep my head on, pray that I stay from off that rock. Think about my homies, I ain't seen them in a while. Think about my son, I just had another child. I only got a daughter, she's 14, but whatever. You get the point. I'll be saying, little baby, you be saying some stuff. Like you said, like, think about, what if I never started rapping? My people would be steady trapping instead of getting active. I tell them to chill. I'm trying to run up these incomes. Pay cash and post my mama credit. Can't show nobody where your mama lived. That's how you're supposed to feel. My daughter asked me if her diamonds were real. I said, of course. Just to play the hand that I was dealt. Didn't have to force. Anyway, so like I'm saying, with this counterculture, like, that's basically a part of it too. Like, you sitting here telling me that people can run their mouth disrespectfully, and I'm supposed to feed into this, I get in trouble because you hit me first and I got caught scenario. And it's like, I got to hold my tongue. I got more to lose than somebody mouthing off and don't know what can truly happen to them if something goes down. Like I said, I survived those things. And back to that, just briefly, like, my whole thing with the disbelief of that is like, all right, it's three of us. And like I said, I'm the one with the longest fuse. And remember, at this point, it was no Rat Reek. At this point, it was no Rat Reek still with the longer fuse. Why did we step off? It's three of us, one of him. And I'm not promoting violence. I'm not promoting any of that. I'm just saying, like, when you think back on it, if you don't remember, you remember stepping off, but you don't remember the boy having a shotgun by his leg, saying, like, and my thing is, my understanding back then was probably they understanding back then, and like, people probably, it's not even an important part of this, but my understanding back then is my understanding now, and I think it would probably be they understand. Like, the boy probably thought we was coming and trap on his spot, and we was just trying to twist up. But at the same time, like, that was my thinking back then. Like, he thought that we were trying to sell on his patio courtyard. No disrespect, you know what I mean? But I can't. I'm not a mind reader. But my whole thing is, since there is always a dispute of me being gaslit out of my mind, and you thinking I'm out of my mind, it's like, all right, well, it's three of us, and we all get down in certain ways back then. We're in the afterlife now, heaven on earth, on my wings to the field. Why would the three of us, like, I done been with these dudes, because I don't drink like that and I don't play the bar like that. So I've been with these dudes where it's like a scene from Goodfellas. We walk into the bar, no pat downs, heavy armory. We walk into the bar, the C parts, and these is my young boys. Like, I got my homie who, like, basically was like a partner in crime, I guess that's what people said. And then I got, like, the boy I grew up with, he was a year younger than me, but yeah, like, yeah, I mean, so it's like, and like I said, I don't play the bar, so they were like bar celebrities. So we would walk in, no pat downs, like, people in front of us is getting pat down. They're like, all right, y'all just go in, heavy artillery. This is the past. Like every chick I knew that were with them had either been behind the bar or worked in the bar because out of association. And like I don't play the bar, and I was behind the bar getting my own drinks at times. This is like 10, 15 years ago, but I'd be behind the bar. Out back then, I've been behind the bar get my own drinks, and they've got a kitchen that ain't open, and I've been in the kitchen rolling up, like just looking at the bartender, like, yeah, I mean, and I told you, you might know me for 30 years, and I don't talk. I didn't in the past, like, you know what I mean? And the reason why I'm bringing all this up, and like, there's been times where last call was called, everybody was kicked out, and it's 5 in the morning, and we still playing pool, drinking drinks and stuff like that, and everybody else left. It would be like me, my homie, his girl, and maybe a couple other homies, and like I knew they did that way more than I was with them doing that. Like, yeah, I mean, I walk in that bar and they look at me like I'm a young boy. You get what I'm saying? But like that, like I said, that was like 10, and it's not delusion. That's real rap. Like that's how it was back then. Like the bar celebrity, like everybody from my neighborhood that I grew up with, like if I see you on the street, it's like, yeah, I mean, yo, Reek, whatever, whatever. And like I said, I put on weight. So sometimes I'm surprised that people just notice me off the bat. Like I know who they are, but they kind of look the same. They might have put on a couple pounds. I put on basically like 150 plus. I like it ain't no shame in my game. I don't really care about that. Like, yeah, man, I ain't excited about that. But the whole point is, and it's still leading to the counterculture and the oppression. But the reason why I'm bringing that up is because if that was who they are, if that is who we were, like me, it's more of a community thing. Like the people my age who no longer live in the community versus the people that go to the bar who might have been from the community but weren't around when I was getting down with the people I was getting down with and the people I knew. And like that's not a disrespectful thing, but that's what I'm saying. Like you popping off at 52, I'm 41, and you was selling sneakers when I was wearing designer, whatever. And it's not a disrespect to people selling sneakers because I'm working at a legitimate job now, but like you weren't me before I knew the dudes that you know. So why do you I don't like that you pop off to me now and think if I do anything to you, you going to just tell my kid's mom or tell the cops or tell and like I'm completely legit. You the one living that life now at 52. So like, yeah, I mean, like whatever you try to do to me, I'm damn sure gonna do it back to you, and I can do that because you can't bang me for nothing. And if you get a reaction, like I said, I don't disrespect nobody that don't disrespect me. And like I said, I'm not saying that to be tough. I'm just saying like it all do lead. My whole thing with that whole story, like I said, is it was three of us, bar celebrities, hood celebrities. It was three of us. Now it was a dispute. It's not an important dispute, but it was a dispute. So why would we walk off? But that just said like again, it just attest to different situations that I survived. And then there was there were up right up the block, like all these gun pools were out here, except for I think one, the courtyard joint that was in West Philly. And there's no dirt for the gaslighter. But yeah, I mean, but my whole thing is like I'm saying, I survived like stuff that you would soil yourself. You would be traumatized. You would have nightmares for the rest of your life. Do not play with me like I'm just. And if I'm talking, if I'm holding a group, if I'm trying to promote a product, like don't try to suppress my voice. Don't try to oppress my voice. Like I don't like that old me surfacing. And it's not a split personality. It's just like, all right, you're pushing too much. And like I'm saying, in a professional setting, I'm gonna keep it professional. Like it might get real because like I can be, you can see on here, I can be playful as a mod, but it might get real, but it's never going to be unethical, un you know, like despite what you hear from whoever is trying to gaslight you, it's never I mean, every intervention has a just as a rationalization as they should. Even the books have give you a rationalization, explains the intervention, and any like if every group, every session, there's an intervention implemented. So in a professional setting, it's like, yeah, I mean, now it might get real. And like I say, when I say that, when I joke about you come at my neck, take your head off. It's like, yeah, you said something disrespectful. Now it's about to get real. And I'm paint a picture that you're very familiar with that might even hurt your soul. It's not nothing that's gonna be like, yeah, I mean, I've talked to people that'll be like, grab them by the collar and tell them shut the fuck up, little motherfucker. Listen, and like that's all. Like that's your approach. I think I said that before, and I ain't gonna dwell on that. Like my whole thing is like, there's no reason we can't get along or get. And I've sat in those groups too. Like when I'm shadowing people, I'm sitting in groups and I'm hearing a lot of good conversation. I'm chiming in on good conversation, and people are respectful to the facilitator. And then, like, I've been around people that'll say, "No, I gotta tighten these up." You get what I'm saying? And like I said, I don't want to make this about a therapeutic thing, but like when it comes to this counterculture, and you already know me, I go off topic. But when it comes to this counterculture and like stifling people's voices, invalidating or devaluing people's experiences and really basically gaslighting them. Like you're trying to really blacklist somebody, like you're trying to exit somebody, exclude somebody, you're trying to isolate somebody. And basically, they just rebranded gaslighting. Like I read the definition: you ostracize somebody and you make them an outcast, you exclude them, you do different things to basically bully this person, whether it's cyberbullying or it don't sound like no cyberbullying stuff. Like they were saying it's like social media and some corporate and stuff like that. But I don't know, you can't do that to certain people. Like I keep my cool, and I have a very long fuse because even when I chop your head off, it's like that's after 9 months of me laughing with you about the jokes and saying, all right, like let's move on. Like, all right, you know what I mean? But you can't do that to everybody. Like that's why I really don't like certain situations because it's like, all right, you trying to flex muscle on somebody you don't know at all. And if it gets real in the streets, like people can lose their life. I'm not saying I'm gonna take your life, but like if you gas somebody up to come at me and I don't back down, I could die right there. Now, luckily, like for whatever reason, people come charging like chest out, say it with your chest out, and then they just walk away deflated and be like, okay, I don't know what the point of that was, but I do. Like I said, I basically survived this gaslight. It's like I call it the Hollywood gaslight. I call it the Hollywood gaslight. Like you gotta, I don't know if I explained that before, but you gotta see that Martin Lawrence inside the actor studio with the boy, and he's talking about Martin Lawrence and what make it a Martin. I know dude's a strong dude. We from the DC area. It's a tough place to grow up. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. What would make a strong dude like Martin run around waving a gun, talk about they trying to kill me? And then like, rap music, like if you really into hip hop or follow rap like that, like they shoot subliminals sometimes. Like I don't know, sometimes they just come out and say it, but because I was listening to a lot of Eminem disses earlier, but and he just comes straight out. Um, but in a lot of older rap, I don't know about new rap, but older rap, and even in some newer rap, I'm sure there's subliminals that you might not catch until the beef is over, or whatever. Might catch the subliminal when somebody on social media or YouTube reports on the beef, but they shooting subliminals. And like, yeah, I mean, all right, so the Blacklist to me is Hollywood. The Gaslight to me is like me, like it. I joked for years about the psychology of pimping. I think I already went over that, so I'm not going into it. Like break the like when I say going into it, I mean about the joking part. But basically, I'm gonna give you the overview. Like shatter the mind, use the body. Like like I'm 6'5", 300 plus pounds. Oh yeah, he looks good for carrying cars on his back for for 3 pennies an hour. Like yeah, no, I'm not doing that. Like my mind is works incredibly well. My mind is quick. Talk slow. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not your slave. I'm not. No, slavery's been over. Like no, and that again, the counterculture reminds me of that. Like you're trying to oppress people. It says it in the definition. It's ostracizing somebody until they're oust or shunned from the community. And I feel like I'm shunned from every community, but you see me on here. It's not tears of a clown either. Like I feel like I'm winning either way you put it because I'm happy. Like I did my time in jail and I knew the person that was like really masterminding this shit was still miserable. I had to realize like I'm in jail and you miserable. You sending kites through your homies, you make your presence known everywhere I go, and you're never happy. And I'm a therapist, so I can tell you, you need therapy. You need to heal whatever trauma happened to you in the past. Just messing with me and getting you where you want to go. It's just enraging you more. And like that's another thing. Like I've read pamphlets on stalking. I've read pamphlets on harassment. I read pamphlets on different things. Now I'm a big dude, so it's a little weird. But like that's why I made the joke earlier about the OJ Simpson because like and I said it's blooming and out of control. And whether I call him Dr. Claw. And my goofy ass. I don't consider my goofy ass an Inspector Gadget, but I might as well. Like I'm out there in the field. I'm out there in the community. Dr. Claw's behind some communication box telling people to dance like puppets and stuff like that, and they do this dumb stuff. And like I play a lot, and I'll point it out. Like I said that in the video before, and like I've said before, it's like every side against the middle, and I'm not scared of nobody. And I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing. So it's like, and like that goes back to the psychology of pimping. Like I feel like that, and I've been going through this for a long time, longer than I knew any pimps. And yes, I knew pimps in the past. I've been around drug dealers all my life because I used to sell drugs. Excuse, like that was a long time ago. But that's the reality of it. Like that's the familiar story I come from. I don't know every drug dealer. I don't know every pimp, but like I've known scandalous people, and I've known. And the messed up thing is, like I've met to me people in like clergy outfits and political offices and mental health are healthcare settings that would put the fight like they would make the thugs, pimps, and gangsters like there's something else. Like I've met pieces of shit. I've met real assholes. Like I don't even know if there's a category. And I'm not saying everybody's like that. Like I'm so don't fit shoes. Don't feel insulted. Like if you didn't know how I felt about you, you didn't know how we got down. If like usually you're not gonna read no attitude from me because I don't give enough. I don't care enough for us to be beefing. So I'm gonna just go on about my day, interact with who I interact with. And like I said, that in a different genre. Like even if we didn't interact, it might just be we just don't talk. On other circumstances, like I might know that you don't like me, so I just don't care. And it's not like I'm avoiding you. I said that before, so I'm not gonna go into that. But I think it all plays into this counterculture thing. And I'm not trying to be like, oh, woe is me. It's just I can explain it the best from what I go through, even though the crowd that's aimed at me like, oh, I got the world in my palm. It's not there yet, but it will be. I'm seeing more and more palm tattoos. I was talked out of it because they say the skin peels so much, but anyway. Um, I don't know. So like that's how I feel. Like when it comes to counterculture, I just feel like I mean it's just a new branding of the gaslight. gang stalking. It's really just a new branding of gang stalking because the Gaslight is classically Gaslight. They got sites, they got people on YouTube that have podcasts dedicated to narcissistic personality disorder and the Gaslight. They have people that show up on Dr. Phil and OWN and all those places. And like, yeah, and that's why I brought up the harassment and stalking and stuff because people that commit these type of acts will continue to escalate, especially if nobody checks them on it. And that's what I've been experiencing. That's what I've been saying since graduation. And like, it's funny to me in a way because, like I said, I've been going through this for almost like over 2 decades. That's 20 years. Over 20 years I've been going through this. And they're aiming people at me that either are still in the familiar story or haven't reached the point of success while they're laughing at me with people who have the means, power, and money to shut me down. You get what I'm saying? But through all of that in all these years, I'm still at this nice middle class area, even though like right now I've been struggling for the last 14 months, but I can't complain because I've been home January, I would have been home, and that's what, 2 months from now, I would have been home 4 years. I've never been without a job until this last full-time job until this last 14 months. And even before that, like I was a pizza delivery dude, like, you know what I mean? And, or whatever you want to say. And through that was pretty much the thick of the Gaslight, like the thick of the Gaslight. And I say that because, like, when I really learned, like, I learned what I'm dealing with pretty much like 10 years ago. That's why it's like, all right, so every 6 months, every 9 months, every 12 months, you might get a reaction. It might have been less over the last 14 months because it's like I've been fighting for everything I have for the last 20 years before the last 14 months, all for me to get to the place I wanted to be that has nothing to do with my stalker, OJ Simpson. But it's like I accomplished that, but it's like right now it's harder than it's ever been. And that's cool. It's weird because I've done nothing wrong. That's why I say it's cool because I've done nothing wrong. At like in my past 20 years ago, like I'm 41, 20 years ago, like I told my group, like anything 16 plus years ago, yeah, I was probably guilty of that shit. If you accuse me, I was probably dead guilty, except for that major case. Like anything besides that major case I caught a long time ago, anything you had thought about, any story you heard, it was probably dead the right truth. But over these last decades, it's like, yeah, it's besides that one case I caught, what, 19 years ago? It's like, yeah, I mean, I'm so far removed from dumb stuff. So I had to fight. And the first 10 years were worse than these last 10 years because, like I said, I didn't know nothing about the situation. I like the first 5 years of the first 10 years, it was like I'm just looking at everybody like, why are you clowns talking like crazy? Like no rap Rick was trying to figure out if he should no rap you or no rap. Or if like cause I'm like, my dog, like should I no rap? You know, put you on the floor. I'm all confused right now. But in that second 5 years, again, like I've said to people, like I can pinpoint every escalation this individual's had. Maybe not everyone, but like the major ones. Like I know it started when one of my homies moved from this town to another town. And it escalated because he moved out of town, not too far from here, like 4 miles from here. But he moved out of my neighborhood to another neighborhood. And basically, it started then. But then, like, I met a chick, and I already know that a big trigger for this individual is females. That's a big trigger, but what it is, it's more me than the female. I learned it's more me, and I learned that because it's not just females. It's females. It's my daughter. It's people that's close to me. And the reason that is because I'm Mr. Do Too Much. Like I might have said, I'm overindulgent, but not in a detrimental way. Like I joke again about like, I'm the type of person like if I fucks with you, if you're a female, like I'll bring somebody on the earth for you. I'll leave the earth for you. I'll uh take somebody off the earth for you. Like, yeah, I mean, and the list goes on. If you're a male, I'm not bringing no life onto the earth with you. Like, I'll help you grow your seed. So, like a lot of times, like, like I said, I'm not type that'll just be like, see something that somebody likes. And if I got it, I'll just impulsively buy it, but it's not going to put me in a deficit. Like I can be impulsive, but I'm calculating impulsive. And then other times, spending tomorrow money, I call it manana. That means like I know I got 3 checks coming in from 3 different sources, and I see something that my daughter, my homie's kid, my kid's brother, my mom, my dad, whoever, my girlfriend, my wife, my whatever would love, and they not asking me for nothing. They not asking me to think of them when I see certain things. They not asking me for anything more than nothing. Like nobody really asks me for nothing. It's just that like how I am. Like I said, even with my clients, I'm tuned in. When you talk, like I'm listening, even if it seems like I'm zoned out in the space and like, yeah, I mean, like I'm tuned in. I am attentive. Those are those attending skills. I'm attentive. Uh, I don't know. Like I'm attentive, but at the same time, I don't really like playing games. Like I'll pick up on things like pick up on things like when I'm rubbing somebody the wrong way, or if you don't like me. But like I'm not a jealous person. So if you like me and I'm not paying attention to you and all you doing is like junior high love tap things, but trying to flaunt stuff in my face, it's like I'm a big congratulator, so that's never gonna work. You trying to throw things in my face that's supposed to make me jealous because I'm a huge congratulator, so that's not something that's gonna make me mad. It's like you're acting weird. What are you doing? Trying to make you jealous? Knock it off. You're stupid. And that's basically what it is. I know it might sound crazy, but yeah, I mean, and then, like I said, there's always a point to these things. So, like through all that that I went through and how I am, it's like I already said. So I left PA and moved to Florida, and I was down there for like a year and a half. When I came back, I wouldn't say all hell broke loose, but it was definitely an escalation. And then right before me and that chick broke up, different men's dreams happened, and there was another escalation. After that, I would say when I was with my kid's mom, there was an escalation, but these were still nerve-wracking but subtle escalations. There have been other subtle escalations, and there's always like a response to when the person's triggered. Even though I don't give a stuff, I don't care because like a lot of stuff, like if I tie my shoe wrong, and like I mean, I can feel it in the air. But like I said, that they make their presence known. So a lot of stuff they do don't bother me. Like that's the reason why I don't know if I explained this. The reason why I learned their triggers is because it's like stuff that don't bother me that they're performing like it's supposed to bother me, and it's like no, like you're lucky it don't bother me because like I mean. But anyway, so then There was an escalation after me and my kid's mom broke up. There was an escalation after I was hanging out with some questionable people. Question the people. Um, your viewpoint, not mine. I don't know. There was an escalation probably when I came home. There was an escalation. There's been various escalations throughout this period that I was in school and working full time, but they were like compared to what I go through on a daily basis, it was, I mean, but the graduation, I knew the graduation would set them off. I predicted it. I wrote it down and everything because like if this is the thing you're trying to stop me from the most and suppress and oppress and if you're trying to ostracize me the most, if you're trying to like that's why they came like I feel like they came after me when I was doing the bad things and living negative and selling drugs. But like since that was my lifestyle, it's like, all right, well, cops are supposed to come after criminals. So okay, I'm gonna bow out now and I'm gonna walk away, problem solved. Because it's like at the time my thinking was I don't know if it's one of my homies trying to run up in my spot, which I ain't scared of or worried about, or I don't know if the cops are on my tail or if somebody's putting cops on my tail. Turns out somebody was, you know what I mean? So, like I said, I bowed out and walked away. And when I say that, it's like, yeah, I walked away from crime. Like I often say, I didn't walk away from the people I was around, which I call my street family. And I came to that because like girls would be like, so who's your best friend? Where's your best friend? I ain't got no best friend. And it's like you can't really trust nobody. Ain't nobody got no clean lab coat. So it's like, yeah, I mean, we I was just mentally freestyling earlier, like, yeah, I mean, the Cold War. And it's funny to me, like the people that I went through hell with and survived situations where guns were pulled. It's like we're in a Cold War now. No, like I don't talk to none of them. I don't know if they talk to each other. The last time I saw one of them, they said they ain't talk. Nobody talks to each other. I don't know. And it's like we're in corporate now. We're adulting now, and we just what are we supposed to see each other and shoot each other cold looks like ice grills and stuff like Cold War. We've been through hell, like yeah, I mean, and believe me, that ice in my veins still there. It's just I'm a thinker, like I said, so like it's funny to me. So it's like I was freestyling earlier, and it's like I don't remember where I was going, but I'm saying like I just know the different escalations throughout these years, and like I'm saying, whether it was a homie, like some people would think it was chicks if they really looked at it, because that's how I thought for a long time, and like a couple years ago, 3 4 years ago, I had to realize like you and like me, like yeah, I mean, I'm not, I can't say I didn't help participate because like I said, I just said like that ice cold that ice is still running through my veins. So if it's fuck me, it's fuck you. You know, it don't matter if you blood, it don't matter if you my best friend, it don't matter. And I was saying I came to that street family realization because you know your family, you love them, you hate them sometimes, but you always family. And no matter what you're going through, like, yeah, I mean, it's like, what happened? What? Who? All right, we about to, yeah, I mean, and I might have said that before, but I don't be in those situations, so don't be thinking like that. But that's how I came to that realization in the past. But at this point, it's like I was saying, like, yeah, I mean, I know that I play a part in my isolation slightly. I like once I learned, like I joked about that years ago, like I learned from my mistakes I just commit. I just make new ones. And my whole thing of saying that was like, I mean, even with that situation, like I learned a lot in the last couple of years, and I basically cut off the people that I wasn't aware that they were being gaslit into gaslighting me. But I've come to recognize that, but at this point, it's too late. And certain situations, like me, it's like, yeah, I mean, throughout my life, I cut people off anyway. Like, and that's why I'm partly to blame because, like, throughout my life, even before I knew these dudes, like, it's like, all right, well, we not vibing, that don't mean shit to me. And that's that past life. And like, yeah, I mean, the new life, you think it more and you try to not make the same mistakes. But in the past life, it's like, all right, well, if it's fuck me, then it's fuck you. Like, yeah, I mean, I ain't, you know what I mean? Like, it's harder when you have feelings for a female. And like I said, like, I never, my last relationship, I don't feel like I know we never got in a no heated argument or battle or knockdown drag out. It was just one time. I've been through the bullshit so often. It's like, I'm not playing these games. I'm out. Like, because the games is going to lead me to do something regrettably stupid. I think I talked about that in one of the last podcasts. So, like, even before I met her, my mindset was if things don't seem right, just walk away. Because, like, and it's not that I was trying to be disrespectful. It was just like I said, I've been through the game so much and I don't want to sit here. Because, like I said, I'm not the type that's going to get upset. Um, if you're cheating, if you cheating, like I'm a monogamous person, but or however we define the relationship, but like yeah, I mean, if you're like if we define the relationship certain ways, we defined it that way. But if you're sneaking behind my back and laughing at me while you sneak behind my back, it's like all right, it's on. You doing what you doing, I'm doing what I'm doing. Whatever, we come together at night and sleep in a cold bed. I don't care. Like yeah, I mean, but what I learned is one, you're not always right with those suspicions, even though people make it seem like it. And you might be dumb for playing along because they making it seem like you're doing these things and you're. But I don't know. Like I said, after the fact, I noticed that people were getting gaslit to gaslight me. So anyway, um, you live, you learn. I'm just saying, like, I don't remember what I was saying, but you got the gaslight, you got different things, you got different aspects of different things, and the escalation. So, like, even in that last relationship, all the signs felt, all the signs point to O.J. Simpson getting triggered. All the signs pointed to O.J. Simpson getting triggered. Everything pointed to O.J. Simpson getting triggered. And I pick up on this. I know this. I make fun of it. I make fun of it all the time. Um, but with that said, like as happy as I was when I was with the chick, as happy as she seemed when we were together, as much as we were together, as much as we talked, when certain things that seem parallel to OJ Simpson's games, it's like, all right, I'm out. But like I said before, it's like, all right, when I would hear her voice before I even open my car door, it's like, yeah, those emotions are still there. But like what I'm saying is if I would have paid attention to OJ Simpson being triggered, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it would have ended up the same because I don't think she was team gaslight, I call it, but only she could tell you that. The gaslight, they just deny it. Shaggy wasn't it? I don't know. There's no ill will. I'm just playing. But at the same time, like when it comes to me, and that goes back to through each of my relationships, like but like I said, the first 10 years, I didn't even know what the hell was going on. Like that goes to that shattering somebody's psyche thing. But it's like after figuring it out, it's like, all right, you done? You good? We're gonna move on now. But anyway, so and I'm joking when I say that, like that's basically my reaction now, especially when like I'm working and things is good. It's like, okay, you good? You done? You get that out your system? You get done performing for OJ Simpson? Like we can move on now. But that's like, and that's separate from a romantic relationship. Like that's separate from a OJ or from a romantic relationship. Like I said in the past, like a romantic relationship, that's somebody you gotta really be beside. That's somebody you share your bank account with. That's somebody you share a bed with. That's somebody you close your eyes and be at your most vulnerable. Like I'm OJ Simpson is gonna get me. I'm gonna wake up with a knife in my chest. Unfortunately, nobody's doing nothing. And that's a part of the counterculture, which like I'm saying is just a rebranding of gang stalking. Counterculture. Like you're but the thing is like as much as I am who I am, And as much as I'm isolated and as much as it's just me out here, like whether the puppets know it or not, like I'm OJ Simpson's worst nightmare. And I'm not trying to be braggadocious or boasting or nothing. Like throughout these years, it's been shown to me in various ways. And like I said, as much as they worked hard, even though puppets might not have known that you were a pawn in a game, as much as the person worked super extremely hard to knock me off my pivot, knock me off my square, keep me from accomplishing my goal of just getting my degree when they could have got like 17 degrees in the amount of time they put in fucking with me. I don't know. I don't know. But like I said, since I already knew, I already knew. So when it comes up over and over again in these conversations I'm having with different people in different settings doing the same dumb shit, it's like I already knew that it would set them off on and like I said, it's that's something I know. It's in the literature, it's in the pamphlets, it's in the stalking, it's in the harassment. They are going to escalate. So if I'm supposed to be gaslit, if my brain is supposed to be shattered, then and I'm here doing a podcast. I'm in a 4-floor house by myself doing a podcast, and I'm supposed to be quivering in the gutter somewhere. I'm supposed to be crying in a cell somewhere. I'm supposed to be like, I don't even know. Like, I'm supposed to be smoking a glass dick right now. I'm sure if OJ Simpson had what they want, that's what it would be. But instead, I am in a 4-floor house, and I know every word that comes out of my mouth enrages this person, incites this person, and they just enlist more people to come at me. And like I said, this counterculture read inside out to me is just a rebranding of gang stalking. And I done survived the gaslight. I done survived the gang stalking. And like I said, like as many people as I saw, but this is celebrity Hollywood that say that, oh yeah, there's a blacklist out there, but you just got to work hard to get past it. Like I said, but at the time, a celebrity, and I'm not saying I'm better than a celebrity. I'm just saying if a celebrity gets blacklisted, if you get blacklisted in the NBA, NFL, Hollywood, music industry, you probably made enough money, both like enough money in your inaugural year that people fight their whole life to make. So you got a little bit more wiggle room, especially depending on the amount of success. Like if you Nasir Jones and you got 4 albums in it, then somebody tries to blacklist you after the nigga tape. You already got that core fan base. And I'm not saying nothing about Nas. I love Nas, you know what I mean? I'm just saying an example. If you Jay-Z at this point can't be blacklisted. But if you tomorrow's next star and you set out to projected be around for 5 to 25 years, but you end up a one-hit wonder because you insulted the wrong person or somebody liked your booty and you was like, no, I don't swing that way. I don't know. Because I really don't know what ticked this person off or made them attach themselves to me. They give everybody the excuse to join in. So they just feed you BS for you to join in. And you don't know me. You don't know me. You don't know what I'm capable of. Yeah, you see me singing R&B. You see me being my Inspector Gadget goofy self. And you manned by Dr. Claw. Dr. Claw's never around. Unless, like I said, I wake up with a dagger in my chest and Dr. Claw's finally standing over me. This is all you're going to see. This is all I'm going to see or hear. I know. I know the puppets be face to face, but I don't be beefing with you. I don't know you like that. You don't know me. Dr. Claw ass. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just saying, like, with all that, with all I had to fight to get past, to get to where I am today, and like I said, I'm not complaining. And another thing, and the only reason I brought up Nasir is because like everybody knows Nasir. It's an agreement between me and him. I can call him Nasir. Everybody else can call him Nas, except for me and Jungle. I'm joking. I don't know neither one of them like that. I don't remember right off the top of my head. Whenever I ain't never been to Queensbridge, I don't remember if I've been to Queensboro, but anyway. Like he's like, because I know in the interview he said that like I think it was Noriega that asked him, "Do you believe in the blacklist?" And he's like, "Yeah, no, it exists. I know you can be blacklisted. I know you can be blackballed, and they got movies from the '50s about it. They got movies like yeah, I mean, and and I'm sure like yeah, I mean, and I guess throughout my life I always heard like, and I'm not shooting at nobody right now or nothing like that. I'm just saying like to survive the streets and then come to find out like corporate and politics like that's what I was about to say like you always hear like politicians are crooked like that's you always hear it, but you know as somebody who has changed his life and like trying to push different positive things, not saying like and again I'm not going against no politician right now, I'm not saying nothing like that, I'm just saying the common whatever you want to call it, like act like I'm Mike Missanelli just running my mouth. Don't get personally offended by me. I'm just, you know what I mean, riffing. But at the same time, like, they come from, yeah, I come from this neighborhood, which is across the street from Philadelphia, but still, like, yeah, man. I talked about the 9 situations in the set, for the 13 situations total that I've been through. Like I said, when you look at that and you survived that and plus more like I've been in situations where I was stealing food out my homie crib and stuff like that, not in major like peanut butter and jelly and tuna fish, and like yeah I mean like I'm that's nothing that's not about my parents because my parents made me who I am. That was in that transitional phase. I'm going through changes Eminem even though yeah, I mean like I was really walking away from the streets, and if you walk away from the streets it's like what the fuck I'm gonna do now. It's all fucked up now. What I'm gonna do now? Because like I always say, like the way my parents raised not just me but my brother and sisters is like, yeah, I mean, go ahead, go out and get it. My mom's favorite thing is God bless the child as God's own, and I don't see no fault in that because it made me to the point like I'm talking about this gaslight gang stalking counterculture thing, and I'm still afloat. And like I said, some people are aimed at me with this superior. I think I look down on you, and then other people are attacking me from above, like you ain't shit, little nigga. I'll squash you with my wallet, and it's like y'all not battling each other. People coming at me from all sides, all because one person is weak, and like it's funny because like I don't, I that's the counterculture. Like I, I'm not somebody like it's been said to me, but I've learned that this person projects through other people too. Like I'm the person you can say whatever to. But if you get disrespectful, what gives you the right to disrespect me and I can't say nothing to you? I'm just supposed to keep my mouth shut. I'm supposed to just swallow my tongue. What gives you that right? And I'm supposed to you so like 3 7 people over 15-year span says I feel like I have to walk on eggshells around you. I don't know why. We can basically have a fist fight in my office, and I ain't gonna send you. I ain't gonna kick you out the building. Now I'm joking about that, but like I tell people, like yo, I don't care if we have a knockdown drag out, and it's not because I'm afraid of getting in trouble. It's just like yeah, I mean, I'd rather resolve issues, and I can resolve, like I said from the very beginning, like it's a conversation. It's a conversation. Like you're not gonna flex on me because I'm not scared of you. So if you get aggressive, if you want to get loud, I'm still going to be like, okay, you done? You got that out your system? Like, yeah, I mean, and I don't see that as disrespectful because, like, you the one getting aggressive and loud. Like, you done? And like I'll be saying, like most of the time, it don't even be me. Like, if somebody's mad and really mad, not gassed up, supercharged emotions coming at me, like just like, yeah, I mean, everyday normal shit. It ain't got nothing to do with me. So why would I get offended? Even if you are mad at the world at that point, it really has nothing to do with me. So it's like, all right, you can vent, get out what you need to. Now let's get pinpoint what really is bothering you and let's get the problem solving. And that usually works. But like I said, like I'm not that dude that you have to hold your tongue around. I'm not that dude. So like for you, like if you come at me like that, I can only feel like, all right, well, if that's how you feel, it's probably because you don't like. If you gonna make a joke, if you gonna make a joke, then that's the roast battle. You initiate the roast battle. If you gonna play the dozens, the dirty dozens, and you initiate the dozens, you initiated the dozens. Like, don't get mad because I'm gonna squirt you and feel no way about it. Like, don't get your feelings hurt neither. You came at me. I'll never disrespect you. So there's no real need to be disrespectful. But if somebody gasses you up and supercharge your emotions and aims your nuclear warhead at me, it's like, all right, well, I usually know how to deactivate the warhead and stop the countdown. But like, yeah, I mean, like that's what I'm saying with the counterculture. Like, it is basically we can do, say, and anything we want to. And like I'm saying, and even back to talking about how my parents raised me as independent and raised my brother and sister as independent, they successful. Like I said, depending on where you look at it, upper class or lower class, I'm in the middle. Cops and robbers, I'm in the middle. Love triangles that I ain't never been in, I'm in the middle. Hood, unhood, subculture of the subculture of the subculture, culture. Um, I don't know. It's just like for me, everything at this point in life, especially at this point in life, like I'm open to any conversation. I might even do a podcast. I'm good talking ain't nothing to me. Like I've never had to dodge bullets, thank God, but I've prevented getting shot in the face. I put it like that. like like I said, the one boy he got hit, grazed, whatever. But like, yeah, I mean, like, ain't nobody with the and one boy pulled like a 14-inch knife on me. And I ain't never been stabbed in between the ribs. I ain't never have a punctured lung. Like I ain't have a bullet go through my thigh or nothing like that. My spinal cord didn't get hit by a 22. And you a weenie over conversation? You can't take roast jokes. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. You can't survive a roast battle. Like, don't start then. Don't start nothing, won't be nothing. Like I'm the easiest person to get along with. If I'm on and I'm just riffing on jokes, like I'll keep you rolling. If we work it, I'll work my ass off. Like, ah, man. So like the counterculture, it really aggravates me with you really trying to I joked a couple weeks ago, don't throw yourself in my fist. Because don't throw yourself in my fist because you like I'm sitting here telling you I'm not as weird as it's promoted. Don't throw yourself in my fist. Like I'm begging. Like it's weird for me. I gotta make a joke out of that somehow. Like a stand up comic routine joke, even though you already heard it a couple times. My 11-man audience that goes back. Um, I gotta make a joke out of that somehow. Don't throw yourself in my face. Like I'm docile Reek. I'm no longer no rat Reek. But like you really trying to resurrect somebody who's like I'm trying to do different. Like my mindset ain't even the same, but that doesn't make me soft. It's like I'm not in that world, so don't try to bring me on a ride along to that world. Like I feel like I'm good in any hood because I don't bring beef to the block. I don't bring a bullshit to the block. Like if I'm on your block, it's either a chick there or a spot where chicks is gonna be. Other than that, like yeah, you know what I mean, I'm not. It's like jail. Somebody told me in jail that the niggas that get really hurt, I'll say it like that, or sodomized, are people that's selling something in somebody's business or got a like a side commissary hustle. But as long as you just, you know what I mean, regularly play your chess, do your job, chill, talk, have the conversations, you know what I mean? Like, that's what it is. Like, that's what I was told in Graterford. I was told other things. Like, there's too many people willing to satisfy you that you don't need to be forcibly sodomized. Not that I was interested in that, but I guess there was no panic on my face. It came up like 4 times before I got to my home jail, and that's basically the same thing everybody was saying. But not like I was panicked about it anyway. I was like, I know they show you that Kit Kat on the John, and I know people say that I don't say certain things, but I don't know. My whole thing is like, yeah, I mean, I was the same as I am. Like, I'm even more vocal now. And like I said, like when I started doing the podcast, like not even the podcast. It was just like on those time and temperature Johns. I had no intention of it growing into this, and I've enjoyed it growing into this. And like I still think it hasn't been a year that I've been on Instagram, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, I mean, like my 11-man audience. I don't know. Is that counterculture? I don't know, man. I get my hashtag game on, but it don't seem to work like it's promoted on. But anyway, I don't even remember what I was talking about. Counterculture, easiest person to get along with, gang stalking, gaslight, the oppression, which is funny because I'm in a field that fights against oppression, and we advocate for the voiceless. We advocate for uh, vulnerable populations, and I don't know. I'm gonna leave it at that. But like some people look at it like a women's profession, and I think I've spoken on that. And like, yeah, I mean, statistically, yeah, it probably is more females when you look at certain aspects, but it's still like, yeah, I mean, social work is a broad field, and a part of that is I'm a therapist. I am a therapist. I can't say licensed yet, but I am a therapist, and I have that clinical background. Like in my master's program, that's all we pretty much, like I would say 98% of the program was therapy, therapeutic interventions, approaches, perspectives, theories. We had maybe 3 classes. I had 2 statistical classes, which is still studies and stuff like that, still evidence based, still goes like so. And then there was like organization building class, and then there was 2 like it taught the history of social work and the evolution of social work and stuff like that. Then it was the one taught the history, and like that taught like the initiatives. Like there was initiatives instated by John F. Kennedy. There was initiatives uh instated by Roosevelt that taught about the beginning of the temporary assistance for needy families. That's the TANF stuff, the supplemental needs assistance program. That's the SNAP benefits. It taught about different stuff, and the evolution of social work. And then another class taught about, because the books were right here. I can tell you the name of the book, and like if you come at me with something, I already know which book it came from, but I can't remember what the difference in the 2 books were. There is a difference though, if you read your books. One is from it's something the welfare state from poor law. Is that what it says? I can't really see it. From poor law to welfare state. And like, off the top of your head, that might sound disrespectful to some people, especially if you got the chip on your shoulder, but that's not, it's clinical terms. Like it's not like like they say Greek civil like the Greeks started civilization. Now, some people, I've had these conversations, so some people think that's a disrespectful thing, Greek, but the reason why they say that is because democracy and all that stuff, philosophy and all that stuff, and even the city state, which, you know, we have states, cities, that was all started in Greece. So when it says from poor law to welfare state, like welfare is supposed to be a good benefit, more government, less government, and whatever. Um, and then the other one is families of the poor, I think. But you know, that's like I said, it's a broad thing. So like you know, whether you're a truancy cop or dealing with truancy agent, uh, advocate, like you know, like you see, for me, when people say it's a women's field, one that's like, I mean, oppressive, I guess, and it's disrespectful, I guess, but it rolls off my back because I'm a therapist anyway. But but what I'm saying is, even when you look at it, like I would say that like that because like I know the statistics, and statistically, I don't know if I said this before, more psychologists are and psychiatrists are men statistically. Now, social workers statistically are women, but I'm a therapist, so I'm joking. I'm sorry. And then, like I said, I got engineering. I'm trying to do different things with the gang stalk and counterculture going on. But like I'm saying, like when I do some research on different political leaders or community leaders or meet different religious leaders, like you know, they still have that base in community work. So the social work thing is basically like whether you got a social work degree, community activism, or community whatever. Like, yeah, I mean, it's all learn about it. Like, don't open. Like, you want me to shut up. People want me to shut up, and you talk a lot and you know nothing. OJ Simpson. I'm sorry. Counterculture. We've been all over the gambit. I'm about to take. I ain't gonna say I'm about to take it down because that's ebonically prison vernacular. But I'm about to sign out, get my smoke on, go out down here and finish this housework. I don't know how far we got into whatever we got into, but you know, I enjoy talking to myself on these podcasts. You know, like I said, hopefully one of these days we get to bounce off somebody. But until then, like you can see, I like to run my mouth nowadays. Unlike I would say 11 months ago, because I think I started really going on Instagram in December. Um, it is what it is. We're here now. And in the future, it just seemed more of me. I'm only going to get louder. Like I'm just that fighting dude. I said that in a different drawing. Like I don't know any other way. Like as my parents said, God bless the child that got his own. Sink or swim, nigga, we kick you out the nest. And like I said, like without this counterculture going on, like I feel like I be at like my brother and sister status. I just don't know what aspect of life I'd be at. But even at my status, solo dolo today, like in that old life, like I have lived dudes in that life dream, let alone dudes in this life dream. So it's like, yeah, I mean, and coming from that life to this life, and I might not, I definitely haven't lived everybody in this life's dreams because, like, I know people that have been up and down the East and West Coast, been out of the country like 18 times a year. But it's like for me to do the things I've done with that common familiar story attitude is like I don't know nothing out here for me to do. I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know towns like that. I don't know what the fuck I'm going out here. I mean, all I know is what I know. All I know is I can I ain't the man. Like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? And like to come from that, the sky's the limit. Without that, it's a beautiful thing to me. And That kind of cultural kind of stuff. And that's not me egging you on. I'm just saying, like, you know, I gotta feel good. So I don't know if this is no, it's still gonna do what it's gonna do, I guess. I don't know. That's my baby. I think yeah, that's my baby. She kind of don't look the same, but she still look good. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be saying this on mirror. I never will. But, you know, maybe we can meet at a convention, catch a convention together. I doubt it. I think they're just cockholding me. I shouldn't say that on here, but you know, the countercultures.